All right, guys, congratulations to Baylor. I thought they played a really, really tough game. They were really resilient. It's pretty amazing what Scott has built here in the last 21 years. From a winning team to a national championship to this building, it's pretty spectacular. And they were great tonight. Congratulations to them. And I was proud of my guys. They fought hard and didn't go the way we wanted it to. But I'm really proud of them. I thought they put a ton of fight into it. We could have executed a little bit better on the offensive and defensive ends down the stretch, but that's a space we're going to have to keep growing. Questions? Yeah, so we're just trying to get Jax on the floor more. I thought he was really good. We kind of threw him into the fire off a one-day practice. He'd got some reps at the one earlier in the season, but I thought he responded well in a great environment on the road. I thought he responded really well, and he's got the capability of really making a huge impact at the point as well as the 2, 3, and in moments of 4.
Why couldn't you keep him off the free throw line and have the bonus so early in both halves?
Yeah, that's probably a question where I'd love to give you the answer. I really think, but I won't. Our job right now is to really break into that and see how we could have done this better and kept him off the free throw line. So. There's a ton of effort and a ton of energy on the floor, and our guys are playing really tough and really hard, and we just have to, what we're going to do is we're going to really, really dig into the film and really, really try and find the avenue of how we can, pacify the whistle a little bit, and that can be a very complicated artistic thing sometimes.
Coach Bryce Cherry, Waco Trib. It was a close game there, and then Baylor hit some three. Did you feel like that was sort of the difference?
I thought Baylor did a tremendous job of kind of spreading us out and attacking us off the bounce. And we kind of lost the integrity of our shell defensive principles a little bit. The gaps became a little bit bigger. We kind of, in some moments in the emotion of the game, there were some moments where we kind of lost our very, very specific particular game plan for guarding them. Kind of gave them some of the stuff we didn't want them to have and didn't give up some of the hard stuff that we wanted them to have. But listen, they're a terrific team. They're one of the top, top 20 team right now, and they're a terrific team, and they play well at home, and that's why, because they're really good at that. So, we just couldn't quite pull it together to contain that. But it was a combination of the 3-point line and the free throw line, and then some stuff right at the rim, which is exactly what efficient offensive teams do. So, congratulations to them on that. I think it's a little bit. For sure, the level of competition there's going to be a little bit of regression. For the next 18 games, we're playing top 25 teams, right? So it's more of a even playing field, it's only our second game on the road, so there's some space in there. So that's going to be something that we're going to grow into. That we're really excited about growing into. It's one of the beautiful things about being in this league as our first year, is we get to kind of figure this out and grow into this, and we will. I got guys that are really devoted and dedicated and together, and so we'll keep going into it.
How did you want to guard Baylor's pick and roll tonight? How did you hold up against it?
Yeah, so a little bit of a mixed bag. They're really good at it. I mean, they're a ball screen team, and they're really good at it. And so I thought our guys did a really good job. I mean, we were kind of a best route for most of the night. We got to switching 1 through 5 later in the game. And one of the things that happens when you switch 1 through 5 is guys chase away instead of keeping gap integrity. And we did that a little bit. But there were some effective, defensive possessions switching 1 through 5. So we attacked it several different ways. With mixed results. But that's what you're going to get when you're playing a really good team.
This goes back to his usual self in your view, coming back from hamstring.
He was out for so long, conditioning-wise, mobility-wise, just kind of thinking in the process of the game, and then also just being thrust into this league. There's going to be a little bit of a growth curve for him, but I felt like he had a bigger impact on the game tonight than he did against Cincinnati, which is really important. And, he's barely scratching the surface of himself, as we know. I actually thought he had a couple really terrific defensive stands late in the game where he was switching onto some of their more explosive guards and kind of held his ground a little bit. I was proud of him for that. So he'll keep getting more and more and more himself.
And like the team responded to this environment. I mean, this is
Yeah, it's one of the great things about the Big 12 is you get to go to really special environments, and I thought our guys came and were poised and competitive, and it was that combination of things where there's just too much slippage in the second half in a bunch of different areas, and that's what we need to grow into, and we will.
One more question on the Tiki foul. They went to break and
Yeah.
they came out and had the free throws.
Yeah, it was super frustrating. So they reviewed it, and so it was really frustrating because it kind of negates the consequence of the foul. So I haven't seen the film, but what they said to me was that Tiki was grabbed, and his response was kind of grabbed, and then his arm went back. I'm sure you guys saw it. I haven't seen it yet, but and there was contact to his head, and so they adjudicated it according to the rule book. So.
Are you shutting down Dawson Baker for the year?
Yeah, he saw doctors today. He's going to see some more doctors tomorrow. It's just not getting better, so we're going to make a final decision here in the next day or so. Thanks, guys.
Well, just another Big 12 game. First, want to thank the fans that showed up tonight and just what a home court advantage the Foster Pavilion gives us. Won't guarantee we win every game, but sure makes a big difference with 6th, 7th, and 8th man. And then each and every night, different people step up, and God's given them all talents and abilities. But the big thing, as long as they keep playing for each other, and some nights when it's their night, great, and when it's not their night, cheering on their teammates, because at the end of the day, in Big 12 play, it's all about matchups like in the NBA, and some guys match up better on certain nights, and it's not going to be the same all the time. And a good team's got to win when you don't shoot well. A good team's got to win well when you don't do this or that right. But 5 turnovers will win you a lot of games in the Big 12.
That's kind of a similar thing with Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't shoot it all that well, but you didn't turn it over and made the plays down the
Well, 10 for 23 from 3 is a lot better than 2 for 15. But yeah, but you're right. Especially early on in the first half, we were 4 for 13. It felt like 4 for 20. But I thought Cincinnati had a really good game plan, get to the free throw line, and they shot, I think, 24 free throws. BYU shot 10. We did a good job kind of following that and trying to drive.
Jalen,
Guys, can we use the mic, please?
how about Jalen tonight?
Jalen was huge, and again, tonight he was going. Guys found him, and he was aggressive. Did a great job getting to the free throw line. And again, BYU is analytically their 6th best defense in the country, 18th best offense, one of the best rebounding teams in the country. Extremely hard to guard, and they've had 2 tough games. But I mean, they're a team nobody wants to play, and Coach Pope's doing a great job with them.
Langston came off the bench and obviously hit a couple big threes there for you in the second half. What kind of spark does he give you off the bench, and how has he embraced that 6-man role?
I tell you, the one thing Langston's been doing a great job of is defending, and his defense has really improved, and that's first and foremost. Second of all, he's doing a great job taking what the defense gives him, and they give him driving angles. He's got a Big 12 body, coming off the ACL injury, coming off the eye injury and everything. Now he's back to being healthy and making great plays.
Scott, just talk about the response of this team. I mean, right before halftime, there was a tech, and I guess they got the 8-1 run in the first half, and then they hit a couple threes there early in the second half and up by 9, and then your team responded. Just talk about it, what you saw.
Well, I think you got to be tough in this league, and when you're down, you got to have that resilience and toughness to come back. And if you don't, you're not going to win many games. And we knew BYU is a great team; they're not going anywhere. And but I thought we did a pretty good job in keeping them out from the spurts they had. They finished the first half 13-3, and a lot of that was self-inflicted. The technical was bad, and there were 2 or 3 other plays that we didn't execute.
Scott, you talked about it earlier, but 14-5 in the turnover advantage for you guys. That's something that's really cleaned up a lot the last 2 games. Has that been a point of emphasis going into conference season? Was it just getting these guys more reps together, or what kind of went into that?
Yeah, a lot of new guys. I don't know if we weren't used to throwing to the Baylor uniform, but we're figuring that out. I think what you said, a big thing is playing with each other. You put in new offense, you're thinking, new personnel around you, you're thinking, and the longer you play, the more you get a feel, and then you're able to react and make plays, and players make plays, and we're past the thinking part, which is great.
Scott, back here. You talked about it a little bit to start off your remarks, but the atmosphere that the fans kind of created today. Can you expand a little bit on that and what difference you think that made at the end of that game?
Well, I think Jalen Bridges, I was just talking with him, he says, man, this place is so much better than the Farrell Center. and again, at the end of the day, players make plays, and they're the ones that win and lose games, and the support they get is huge from the fans. And I thought when we needed the fans tonight, they were loud, and it wasn't turning on the fans, it was our fans. You guys catch that or not? All right.
Coach.
In shoot around, we heard the fans were like, hey, if it ever gets quiet, turn them fans on.
Coach, BYU's a team that shoots a lot of threes, only 4 3-point attempts from their centers combines tonight. What were y'all doing to try to limit them?
Well, I think Coach Pope's blessed to have three guys that are all bring something different to the table, and 45 got it going for a while there, and he doesn't shoot threes as much, but he was a force down low and did a great job distributing, and 4's a shot blocker, and then big fella is a great passer, but obviously knocks down threes, so stretches the floor. So it's a hard prep because you got to prepare for 3 different, it's kind of like 3 different quarterbacks.
Hey, Coach, after the game, did Caleb have anything to say, like in the locker room, or maybe some other teammates say anything about that?
Well, Caleb's so class. I mean, he's just one of those guys that everyone that met him at BYU, I know, enjoys him, and everyone met him and knows him at Baylor enjoys him. I mean, he was happy with the win, but he was also happy to see some familiar faces, and I know he's always cheering for BYU and wishing them the best because that's who he is.
Hey, Coach, when, some of those calls don't go your way, it's part of the sport of basketball. What do you kind of tell your guys about keep your cool, there's a lot of game left, we have one job to do, and stick with that?
Yeah, I tell them don't watch me. No. Try to control what you can control, and obviously I think our guys do a good job adjusting throughout the game, and they do a good job listening. Sometimes our game plans aren't perfect. We make adjustments, and they aren't perfect. But normally, players that listen have a chance to you see what officials are calling, what's working, and you adjust to that, and that's a strength of our team rather than getting frustrated or getting taken out of their game.
Coach? Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Huh?
Number 1 and number 2. Houston got beat by Iowa State.
How bad they lose? Purdue lost where? At Nebraska. Just another day in college basketball, gentlemen.
All right. Please raise your hand and wait on the mic. We have Jalen Bridges and Jayden Dunn. Bryce first.
Jalen, you had it going tonight. I mean, were you just feeling it? I mean, were you trying to be more aggressive, or was it just kind of what the defense was giving?
I would say a little bit of all that, but, you know, when you got guards like him, guards like Ray J, that can just find me when I'm open, you know, make life easy for me. And then also I would say they had a bigger guy on me, so I just tried to exploit that a little bit.
Jayden, talk about the response of this team. I mean, you guys were down by 9 early in the second half, and you guys got on a roll and kind of went back and forth. But just talk about this team and how it's responded.
I feel like we responded very good, you know, facing adversity. And I feel like we just, you know, knew the outcome. We knew we were just beating ourselves. We made self mistakes. And then, you know, once we covered them, I feel like that's when we started taking the lead. And, you know, it really just started with defense. You know, defense created our offense for us for sure.
And Jalen, Coach Drew said you were a fan of the atmosphere tonight. Can you tell me what the atmosphere was like for you and how that helped you guys out as a team tonight?
I mean, it's a blessing to have a brand new arena, brand new facility, and the fans brought it tonight. They brought the energy. Like when we went on our runs, it was like we couldn't even hear each other out there. We this close, we can't even hear each other.
Yeah,
so it's great to have home court advantage, especially in this league.
Yeah.
Jayden back here, kind of talking about the impact that the guards made tonight. What did you see out of Langston and the impact that he made when he came on?
I feel like Langston is just a great guy, you know, a great guard in general. Just bringing that spark off the bench that we need, you know, on the court, defense and offense, you know, just hitting open shots, getting to the basket. Langston is just a great guy off the bench for us for sure. He very complete game he has for sure.
Jayden, only 5 turnovers for you guys as a team, and obviously coming off a game at Oklahoma State where you had a low number as well. Mm-hmm. Has that just been you getting more comfortable with each other? Has it been something you've concentrated on?
I feel like it's just, you know, getting more comfortable. I feel like preseason, you know, we got all the jitters out. We played tough teams, you know, during scrimmages and everything. And, you know, Coach Drew always emphasized on keeping like 11 or less turnovers. So I feel like we just, you know, take emphasis on that. And we've been doing a great job at taking care of the ball, you know, this far this season for sure.
Jalen, they beat y'all on a lot of backdoor cuts in the first half. What did y'all do to adjust to that? Because it seemed like they didn't get as many of those opportunities in the second half.
I mean, you know, it's kind of tough with a team like them that can shoot the ball the way they can, you know, because your natural instinct is to want to deny them coming off screen so they don't get an open shot. So you overplay it, boom, they backdoor you. We just kind of try to stay under, and we went to a defense where we switched a little bit more. So. Mm-hmm. Kind of took them out of what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
Jayden, it was a tough night for Eve, at least on the stat sheet. What kind of stuff do you say to a young guy like that coming off of a game like this?
You know, just based on being like a basketball, you know, a human being in general, you're not perfect. So just look forward to the next game. You know, we have a lot of basketball ahead of us. You know, every basketball player has games like this, you know, where they just can't seem to get it going. But it's life and it's basketball. So it's all a part of the process and it's all a part of the journey for sure.
Jalen, Langston hit some big shots for you guys again, as he's kind of done all season. How gratifying is it to see that from him, given all that he's been through?
I mean, it's just amazing. We talked in our chapel today about perseverance, and I feel like Langston, there's nobody who embodies that more than Langston Love. Everything that he's gone through, you know, even this offseason, he had an injury to his pec.
Yeah.
It was like he couldn't catch a break, and just to see him out there doing his thing, making shots, making big plays for us, it's amazing.
And Jayden, shots haven't been falling for you that much recently, and it was the case for everyone really on Saturday. Mm-hmm. How does that, going into a game like this, how do you guys change your mentality offensively, or does it just keep playing at it?
It just stay confident. You know, that's what me and my guys always talk about. Even the coaches always tell me stay confident. You know, just keep shooting the ball and just keep trying to make the right play. So I feel like we just stay confident throughout this whole season, no matter what the outcome is, you know, because it's life. You know, you're going to miss shots, you're going to make shots. So everything happened for a reason. So we just move forward to the next game for sure.
Jalen, what's the adjustment period for coming into the Foster? Y'all haven't been here very much. How's it feel to shoot? Are you used to kind of how everything looks and feels?
I would say at this point we're kind of used to it, but against Cornell we definitely weren't. Just compared like the verticality of here compared to the Farrell Center, it's like two completely different venues. So I would say we've been in here a lot now, so I think we're a lot more used to it. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.